You turn my morning into dancing. Your love changes everything. There's something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. 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 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. Oh, there's something about your love. Something about your love changes everything in my body. Oh, something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. 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 Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything.
Good morning, Rooted Men. Good to be with you this morning. It's a quiet Tuesday morning at the house. I got home from camping yesterday afternoon, and I'm a little fried. It was so hot. We've been dealing with 70s and 60s for months on end, and all of a sudden we got days in a row of 90 degrees. And I got home last night, and my garden's all dried out, so I was out there watering that, and I saw the pool sitting there. I didn't even take the cover off it. I just climbed the ladder and went in the water. It's just so warm. Anybody that was out there for the weekend knows it was a great time. I mean, we had so much fun. We talked, we laughed, we sang, and we ate. Oh my goodness, we ate. Anyway, it was really well done. And anybody that gets a chance, make sure that Glenn knows about how much he put a lot of effort into this. It's kind of one of his passions. He loves to camp, and he did a whale of a job on this organization and dealing with all of us complaining at him about every little thing. He's the best, and we are lucky to have him helping us. That being said, we have a devotion to do this morning, and so we have 9 people online. Let's see if we can see who's on. Ready to start with the top. What do you say? Chuck B's here. Good morning. Shalom, gentlemen. And then Ken Gooch says, good morning, fellow brothers in arms. Tom Donnelly's here. And Tom Donnelly, it's his twin. And then Chris Conley was here. And Bert Reggiani. That's who's commented so far. Good morning, gentlemen. We have 10 people according to this. We have 5 on X and 4 on YouTube and 1 on Facebook. So I would say let's get started. You want to? Today we're looking at Psalm 24. Psalm 21 would be wrong. Anyway, this was, I read through this maybe a dozen times. Yet I'm thinking, what am I going to talk about? The greatness of God, and that's the funny thing. And this is a powerful declaration of God's sovereignty. David wrote this, and it is the key to this is God's in charge. Everything we have is Jesus's. Everything is God's. To our property, to our land, to our world, everything we have is. And also it's a call to examine your own heart. And so we'll go into that with this attitude. So then I found something as I was reading about this, and it's funny, you can go through the scriptures and you don't realize things, how they were used in the church. Psalm 24 was written by David, all right, but it was used by pilgrims as they marched toward the temple. It was a way of cleansing, or not cleansing, that's not wrong. It was a way of, it was considered temple liturgy. So if it was the proper thing to do is to be sing this as you march toward the temple. It was also the psalm for the first day of the week, which I thought was kind of cool. But let's start. Well, let's pull it up and look at it. All right, and now imagine yourself 3,000-4,000 years ago as they were marching toward the temple, singing this song, and how you would use this as a way to worship God. And I think it seems to play better that way. So I mean, and I haven't done that yet. So today, as I read it, I'm going to imagine myself on a pilgrimage to the temple, and I'll be singing this out loud. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and those who dwell in it. Okay, hold on one second. Let me get back to it. Okay, the world and those who dwell therein. He has founded it upon the seas and established it upon the rivers. Who shall ascend the hill of the Lord? Who shall stand in his royal palace or place? He who has clean hands and a pure heart, who does not lift up his soul to what is false and does not swear deceitfully. He will receive a blessing from the Lord and the righteousness from the God of his salvation. Such is the generation of those who seek him, who seek the face of the God of Jacob. Selah. Lift up your hearts. Lift up your heads, O gates, and be lifted up, O ancient doors, that the King of glory may come in. And who is the King of glory? The Lord, strong and mighty, the Lord, mighty in battle. Lift up your hearts. Why do I keep saying hearts? Lift up your heads, O gates, and lift them up, O ancient doors, that the King of glory may come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord of hosts, he is the King of glory. Selah. This is kind of cool. I just did it as I pictured. It was me getting myself ready. I could picture it. I was getting myself ready to be in the temple to worship God. It's kind of like a washing of the week away, a reminder that who's in charge and why we do, who we are, who is worthy, and how the worthy people act. It talks about the King of glory, the strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up the doors so the King of glory can come in. Who is the king in this one? Who are they talking about? They're talking about God. They're talking about Jesus. This could be another messianic prophecy. It very well is a messianic prophecy. I guess my next question was, what does that mean to me in 2025? So kind of points at a way of how I should go into worship on Sunday. It kind of points to maybe how I should examine myself, as the things in my life, the things that I think, the things that I do. Maybe I need to confess some stuff to God. There's all kinds of ways we examine ourselves, and this little bit of liturgy here points to it. It points to how our life should be and how we should act and who's in charge. Remember, I think, and then one last thing that I thought about when I was doing this, is that we have to remember that our salvation isn't dependent on us and how we behave. We talk about this. It's dependent on God. How we behave is our response to that gift. That's what I have for you today, guys. I hope it's a blessing. I try to make it short and sweet so I don't mess up with anybody else's devotions, and I'm way ahead of schedule. So have a firmly rooted day, and may someone see Jesus in you today. Peace.